Hi guys, I'm Chris.
And I'm Jimmy.
And we are the Two Stocky Guys.
On this channel, we put $1,000 into the stock market every week and share with you guys how it goes. Let's look at my stock picks for the last couple of weeks, or basically since we've started doing this. A lot of my stocks are in energy as well as financials. And I'm down mostly because I think financials and energy have not been doing too hot this year.
Yeah, they've taken a hit. Yeah.
So going to your picks, you are a little bit more diversified in terms of sectors than I am. So you have AMD, you have ConocoPhillips, you have a REIT, Realty Income, and then you also have Prudential. You are, well, you're down a little bit more.
Yeah, down a little bit more. I think it's kind of funny that the REITs are usually the most risky thing, and that's the only thing that I have that's up right now.
So I feel like the market right now is so sentiment driven. Like last year, right? Everyone thought tech was going to die. This year, everyone thinks that like oil is going to die and banks are going to die.
Right.
Okay, so what did you decide to get last week?
So last week I picked IBM. So I'm going to another sector this time. I'm going to information technology. So I'm going to continue with my theme of getting into different sectors and being a little bit diversified. So I picked IBM for a couple reasons. It's not a very exciting stock, and I think people would kind of be maybe confused by buying it because a lot of people are saying that it's kind of dying or maybe even dead at this point. But I think it's a pretty solid stock. It is a dividend aristocrat, and it's actually the only dividend aristocrat in the information technology sector. So that's one of the reasons that I picked it. It also has a pretty nice dividend, which is another reason that I bought it. And like most of the stocks that I've bought, I don't really expect this to be a growth stock.
Whoa, yeah. 33 years of dividend payments, 23 years of dividend growth. That's bonkers.
Yeah, that's a pretty good. I mean, their dividend payout ratio, I think right now is pretty high. So some people are kind of expecting the dividend to be cut, but I kind of don't think that's going to happen, honestly. I think that IBM can continue to increase their dividend. They have a very consistent rate of increasing their dividend.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to go up a whole lot, but not only do I think they're not going to cut their dividend, I think they're going to continue to increase it at least a little bit.
It seems like they've only gone up like 1 cent.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot of growth, but it is growth. It is consistent growth for a couple decades, which is very important.
I think it would take quite a bit for them to cut their dividend.
Yeah.
If they cut their dividend and they lose their dividend aristocrat status, I think that would be too much of a hit. Like I think they would, like bad things would need to happen for them to risk losing this status.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to protect that status because that is, I mean, honestly, that is one of the main, if not one of the only things that they have going for them right now. So I think they're really going to do everything they can to protect that.
Yeah, because you have investors, you have hedge funds, you have like all the ETFs that focus on dividend aristocrats, and you like if IBM stopped their dividends. They're out of them. They're out of like so much stuff. They recently increased their dividend, so you're getting paid $1.66 instead of $1.50 or $1.65.
Oh yeah, and one reason that I wanted to buy this stock now, actually, I was going to buy something else this week, right? But I decided to get in on this one because their ex-dividend date is on the 9th. So I wanted to get in right before the cutoff for the dividend so that I could reap the dividend as much as possible.
We got to get better at that time.
I was thinking because I was making the decision, then I was just going through a bunch of them and saw IBM because I was looking at when the dividends were dispersed, and then I saw IBM and I was like, oh, well, that's already on my watch list. I'm gonna buy that now and at least get the dividend from it. And they are down for the last couple of years. I mean, they are kind of trending down, so I think that's why people are saying that it's kind of dying if it's not already dead. They kind of had their heyday in like the 90s or like the early 2000s. And they've been kind of going up and down or steadily decreasing since then. But I think at this point, the stock is maybe either a good value or slightly undervalued at this point. And it's kind of one of those stocks where if anything good happens, they can see some growth. And I think with kind of the dawn of AI, that might help a lot of the tech companies, the information technology companies, the companies that can automate a lot of their jobs. I think that's going to help them decrease their expenditures, which will help with profitability and help increase their stock over time. And they were talking about getting rid of, I think, like 7,800 jobs and replacing them with AI.
Yeah.
But at the same time, so is everybody else.
Right.
So I don't know how accurate that is, but I definitely see them replacing jobs with AI over the next few years, over the next decade, and becoming more profitable and more efficient, hopefully anyway, with the way they run their business. And I think that's going to cause some growth in the company. And that's why I also think they're going to be able to protect their dividend, because they're going to need investors to get that AI up and running. So I think that's probably what they're going to go in on, like a lot of the other tech companies and information technology companies are.
I like this pick. I like their dividend, super solid.
Yeah.
And then in terms of like the AI play, I like this there as well, because I think when you look forward 5, 10, 15, or like how many years you want to look forward, right? Like, do you really know who's going to be the predominant AI player?
Yeah, no idea.
You're probably betting on Microsoft or Google, right? There are probably like semiconductor chips that are ahead of the game. I mean, if you really think about it, like the whole chat GPT thing just like came out of nowhere, right? Like, at least for the average folks, like, right? I'm like, it just came out of nowhere for me. And so I feel like betting on these like companies that are going to be like the future AI leaders just because they're leading in AI today, I feel like there's a lot of room for disappointment there.
Right, yeah.
Whereas like IBM, no one's talking about them,
Yeah.
right? Like,
yeah, no one. And if they are, it's negative. So.
Yep. I feel like it can only go up. I don't know. I mean, yes, it can go down as well.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot more room for them to surprise us.
Yeah, I think AI is going to change a lot. And they do have some AI services built within their company. They mostly do consulting, I believe.
Yep.
So I think they're going to benefit a lot more from other companies increasing their use of AI and kind of creating some innovations with AI. So I think they're going to benefit from anyone else increasing their use of AI. So it's not like we have to bet on them being the big AI player. They're going to benefit from everyone else making innovations in AI, because this is going to make their business more efficient. So they're kind of like they're just going to piggyback off of everyone else's innovations, which is, you could kind of think of them as like not contributing that much, but really like it's smart from a business perspective.
Like they can be the predominant middleman.
Right.
And they don't have to fight the companies using AI or the companies producing.
You don't have to dump a bunch into R&D or anything like that. So I think it's a lot safer than betting on a company that's trying to go all in on AI right now. Yeah.
I think this does diverge from your strategy of getting like the creme a la creme or the best in the sector.
Yeah.
I don't think IBM is the best in their sector.
Yeah, no, I don't think that they are. I think they're close to the top, but I don't think they're the best in the sector. Honestly, the others in the sector, I didn't really recognize many of the names, to be honest, because they're kind of like they are in information technology, but like specifically what they do is kind of consulting.
Yeah.
So within that, like I don't think many people recognize those names unless you're in that sector and you actually do business with these companies, because they're just consulting companies kind of. I mean, everybody knows IBM because they've been around for like 100+ years maybe or something like that.
Let's cross our fingers that this doesn't go too poorly.
Yeah, let's hope so.
All right, that wraps up for this episode, guys. Please like and subscribe if you want to see us again and want to follow our journey as we do this. And until next time.